Are you?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineups for today's game. First for the visiting Mansfield Tigers. Batting first and shortstop, number 15, Reed Thomas. Batting second at first base, number 7, Ahmad Lambert. Batting third, the starting pitcher, number 9, Hunter Simmons. Batting fourth, designated hitter, number 20, Gavin Brzezowski. Batting fifth in right field, number 12, Luke Linsing. Batting sixth at catcher, number 8, J.P. DeLotte. Batting seventh in center field, number 3, Braden Monroe. Batting eighth in left field, number 14, Max Garrett. Batting ninth at second base, number 2, Austin Dent. Starting third baseman is number 10, Gage Harmon. The Mansfield Tigers are led by Coach Buddy Adams. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your Lamar Vikings. Batting first at left field, number 17, Purnell Garrison. Garrison at left. Batting second at catcher, number 12, Colt Fuller. Fuller behind the plate. Batting third at third base, number 19, Andrew Gladback. Gladback at third. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 11, Ben Sudbury. Sudbury at DH. Batting fifth, number 9, Jackson Walker. Walker. Batting sixth, the starting pitcher, number 21, Cade Mason. Mason on the mound. Batting seventh at shortstop, number 13, Juan Rosa. Rosa at short. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 7, Jared De La Parra. De La Parra at second. Batting ninth in center field, number 24, Nathan Howe. Howe in center. The rest of the Lamar Vikings are Hayden Wolf, Cade Hoogerworth, and Zach Hall. The manager is Katie Martin, and they are led by Coach Stephen Kelly.
Three's playing right. I can't see who's playing left. 17.
Left I've got, yeah. It's just who's playing it first.
Oh, 9.
Jackson Walker at first.
Who do they got in right? Luttrell?
Well, good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to this special junior varsity broadcast of Lamar Viking Varsity Baseball, brought to you by the Lamar Viking Booster Club. I'm Bill Frawley. With me is Al Coleman. He's going to be doing the color commentary for the most part. I'll be doing play-by-play. And the PA announcing this is a rain-delayed game, originally scheduled to begin at 6 o'clock, getting underway now at 7, well, here in just a little bit. They're going to play about an hour and a half to an hour and 50 minutes, and then stop and try to let the freshmen get as much of a complete game in as they can, hopefully for an hour and a half or so. Well, we sure had some storm. We had thunder, lightning, rain, a little bit of pea-sized hail, but it's given way now to some sun and partly cloudy skies. Al, how are you doing tonight?
Great, Bill. Got through that stretch of bad weather and ready to play some ball.
Yeah. Well, we can't really say it's a beautiful day for baseball here. It has gotten better, but it is what it is. So we're going to have some baseball finally, and that's a good thing. Starting battery for the Lamar Vikings. Behind the plate, number 12, Colt Fuller. Fuller, the starting catcher. And on the mound, number 21, Cade Mason. Mason, the starting pitcher for your Vikings. Baseball fans, please let anyone that you know who can't be at the game tonight, let them know they can watch and listen in by going to lamarnation.com, lamarnation.com, and click on live stream and tune in to tonight's live webcast of the game. Leading off for the Tigers in the top of the first inning, shortstop, number 15, Reed Thomas.
Bill, I'm sure all the players are glad to be out here now. They had to stay inside their locker room while we had the lightning out.
And first pitch strike there for Cade Mason. Yeah, that was not fun. I mean, that was, there's no windows in there. I don't know if the AC was on, and they were in there for pretty close to an hour, I believe.
Yeah.
There's a bouncing ball that's hit to the second baseman, Jared De La... Well, so I'm going to stand corrected here. De La Parra moved over. Cade Mason covered first, and the first baseman, Walker, scooped that up and tossed it over to Cade Mason for the out.
So just like that,
Actually,
one up, one
actually
down.
he was safe, Bill.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, the runner beat the throw. It was
Okay.
that ball was in between all three fielders there, and he beat the throw.
First baseman number 7, Ahmad Lambert.
Just got a piece of it, but it was put in a good spot where none of the three players could really field it quickly.
Well, the first pitch misses for ball 1. There's a looper out into center field. That'll be a base hit.
Oh, that's in the gap.
The lead runner, and that rolls back almost to the fence. They're going to score one on that, and that's going to be a, well, yep, it's a triple, RBI triple for Ahmad Lambert. Scoring is number 15, Reed Thomas.
Got past the center fielder, Nathan House, and that ball went all the way to the wall for a triple for Lambert. Scored Thomas.
The next batter is number 9, the pitcher, Hunter Simmons. Well, Southers, one on at third base, nobody out, and the Tigers have already taken a 1-0 lead. High fly ball that goes out into center field. Nathan Howe can't track that down. That goes over his head. And that rolls to the fence. That's going to score one, and we're going to have another triple for the Tigers.
Another ball that kept carrying. The wind's blowing out to center field. Howe initially looked like he had that ball, Bill, but it kept carrying and almost.
Scoring is number 7, Ahmad Lambert. The next batter is number 20, designated hitter Gavin Brzezowski. Yeah, Al, that was a tough one to bring in. And then we're going to have a courtesy runner, number 14. That's number 9. Courtesy runner at first base, number 14, Dylan Nanny.
So 2 runs already for the Tigers. Let's see if Mason can settle down here a little bit and get his first out.
A center fielder for tonight is Nathan Howe. He got brought up from the freshman team this week as a couple of junior varsity players moved up to the varsity level because there's a couple of injuries at the varsity level. So
yeah,
a little bit of musical chairs with people moving up. There's a ground ball hit to the second baseman. He makes a dive, can't stop it. That'll score yet another run. That'll be number 14, Nanny. Scoring is number 14, Dylan Nanny. The next batter is number 12, right fielder Luke Linsing.
that ball a clean hit, just out of the reach of the second baseman.
And the first pitch misses outside for ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Cade Mason, the pitcher on the mound for the Vikings. And the 1-0 pitch comes low for ball 2.
A little bit outside there. Left-hand batting Lensing.
Mason throws back over to first to Jackson Walker. Runner gets back in plenty of time. Now Walker comes up, hand delivers the ball back to Mason, gives him a little bit of a message also. Maybe something to look out for as they try to hold that runner at first. 2 balls and no strike to count, nobody out. 1 on. The Tigers already at a 3-0 lead here over the Vikings, top of the first inning. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1, 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, the temperature dropped a fair amount, Al, when that storm came through.
And it's going to drop a lot more before the evening's over. We're looking at a 40-degree swing in 12 hours.
And the wind blowing toward the outfield, so anyone that can get a hold of one has a chance tonight, especially toward right field. That pitch caught the corner of the strike zone, evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That pitch misses and gets by Fuller. And Fuller not going to be able to make a throw to second or third.
Fuller didn't look like he's moving too well there, Bill.
No, he's favoring a right leg, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't know if he's fully healthy.
So now on that, I guess he didn't touch it. I don't know if that gets ruled technically as a pass ball, or I'm going to call it a wild pitch because it was pretty far outside. But that'll advance that runner from first to third. That runner is the designated hitter, Gavin Brzezowski.
Struck him out.
There's a swing and a miss.
So first out for Mason.
The next batter is number 8 catcher, J.P. DeLotte.
Boy, Mason needed that just to settle down a bit here and get the team to settle down a little bit.
Yeah, get a little bit of confidence going. Not everyone's going to hit the ball out of the infield.
A little concern for Fuller. He was noticeably limping there.
That pitch misses for ball 1.
Runner at third has taken a big lead for the Tigers.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung on. It's a bouncing ball to the shortstop. It's bobbled by Juan Rosa. So we'll have to give that one an error. And that's going to score Brzezowski. Scoring is number 20, Gavin Brzezowski. The next batter is number 3, center fielder Braden Monroe.
Tough hop for Rosa there. Ball took a big first hop, and he tried to short hop it and then make the throw, and he just couldn't do it.
There's a bunt laid down to the pitcher. Mason comes off the mound. Can't make the throw. That'll be an E1. Runners are going around. There's a throw over to home. Fuller really gimping now, and he chases the ball back to the fence. And 2 runs are going to score. So the guy that laid down the bunt is going to score.
Yeah,
on the same play.
2 overthrows there, and Bill, I got to believe that Coach Kelly has got to take Fuller out of the game here. He's noticeably hobbling around. Well, he may not have another option.
They may have to pull Frawley up from the freshman team.
Yeah.
Number 14, left fielder Max Garrett.
He's 11. Yeah.
Oh. Golly. Wow, and this is just not looking good defensively for the Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings are really struggling here.
They're not fielding it cleanly, and they're really not making good throws yet. Very unfortunate. So that was a single by Garrett, and then he'll reach second on an error. Second baseman number 2, Austin Dent.
Vikings are really struggling here starting off, as you just mentioned. It might have been for the lack of warm-ups and just trying to, with all the delays into the game.
Oh, that first pitch in there for a strike to this one, so no balls and 1 strike to the number 9 hitter, Austin Dent. There's a runner on second, only 1 out, top of the first. The 9th batter of the inning is up, 6-0 already for Mansfield. And that caught the outside corner, 0-2. So at least Cade is up ahead of this batter, no balls and 2 strikes. If he can just get him without the runner advancing. That one fouled back to the fence, to the wall.
The Vikings just need to catch their breath and settle down a little bit here, Bill.
Count stays at no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, that's definitely so. They've definitely dug themselves in a hole defensively here to begin with. That foul ball goes out over the soccer practice field behind the visitor stands. Pitch is inside. Fuller does a good job of stopping that one. That one's in the dirt. He's really favoring that leg.
Yeah. He's favoring his left leg.
And that pitch catches the outside corner for strike 3. Number 15, Reed Thomas. Well, Thomas' second time to the plate already in the inning and the game. He got on with a single and scored the first run of the game tonight. Still the runner on second. 2 outs now. And the first pitch outside for ball 1 off the glove of Fuller. He limps over and picks that one up. Runner stays at second.
Yeah, Tigers have batted around.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung on a miss. Evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Thomas started all this with the kind of excuse me first single that got between the pitcher second and first. That really started the Tigers on their way, and they haven't shut it down since.
That pitch will miss. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, that little slight breeze feels kind of good, though, bringing some cool air into the booth. People have some jackets and blankets out there in the stands. Here comes the 2-1 pitch inside, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. There's a high fly ball that's going to be in foul territory. Andrew Gladback comes over to try to make a play on it. Can't get there quite in time. Count stays at 3 balls. Oh, excuse me, goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Be a full count now.
Gladback gave it a good effort, just couldn't get to it.
Yeah, that kind of had some backspin on it. It went sort of straight up and then started tailing back toward the dugout. Did what he could.
Pretty wide foul area here at Lamar Viking Diamond, especially between.
Payoff pitch, ground ball bounces over the pitcher. Second baseman De La Parra bounces it off of his glove. The run's going to score. I guess we'll be, at least here, generous and call that a single. He dove at it and knocked it down. Scoring was number 11, Max Garrett.
Coach Kelly now out to talk to Cade Mason, Fuller at the mound. See if he can get him to settle down a little bit here.
I had a dream last night that hamburger was eating me.
There's hamburgers and hot dogs, all kinds of great things you eat or drink at the concession stand. Have dinner at the ballpark, a great way to enjoy the game. And remember, as always,
best prices guaranteed.
When you're finished with your eats and drinks, please leave your trash in the cans, not the stands. Let's keep the Lamar Viking Diamond a beautiful place to be.
That's a wonderful idea.
Once again, baseball fans, please remember, let anyone who can't be at the game tonight know that they can tune in and watch it on the internet at lamarnation.com and click on live stream. Well, that first pitch is going to miss outside. It's got Ahmad Lambert up to bat. He's the first baseman. his second at bat. He had a triple earlier in this inning, and he ended up scoring the second run of the game.
Yeah, that was a ball that went all the way to the wall in center field.
The first one of some that did that.
Yeah.
Here's the next
There's
pitch, and
two.
that's high for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Nobody warming up in the Viking bullpen.
I've got a feeling Coach Kelly might just kind of see how Mason reacts to some of this early trouble and let him have some experience getting out of a jam. That pitch swung on a miss for strike 1, 2 balls and 1 strike to Ahmad Lambert. And swung on a miss again. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the Vikings haven't batted yet, so
Yeah.
we'll see how the
See
game
if our
goes.
bats come alive.
Yeah.
So 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes, a runner at first base for the Tigers. Mason throws. That's going to get away from Fuller, but he manages to keep it in front of him or to his side, and the runner does not advance, but still favoring that left leg. And the count goes full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now Fuller goes out to talk with Cade.
Mason called him out there. They want to make sure they don't get their signals crossed on this pitch on the 3-2 count.
All right, so full count, 2 outs, a runner on first base. Cade Mason about to throw a payoff pitch here. The runner goes, and that's going to be high for ball 4. That'll be a walk. Number 9, Hunter Simmons.
I think Mason got a little bit distracted by the runner who took off on the pitch on that on first base. And now he throws one in the dirt and both runners advance and
And he missed the tag. Fuller trying to dive back as the runner was coming in, and the runner just steps over it. You know, for not being 100%, obviously, he's sure making a gallant effort at this.
yeah. Well, Mason didn't cover home plate. It's kind of a cardinal sin there, Bill. He should have, on the overthrow.
Scoring is number 15, Reed Thomas. And now Fuller going over to talk to Coach Kelly. I think he's saying, I don't know how much more of this I can do. And he's going to be
He's taking
coming
him out of the game.
We'll be back in just a few moments once we get the new catcher geared up. You're watching and listening to Lamar Viking Junior Varsity Baseball. So Ben Sudbury comes into the game to replace the not at 100% physically Colt Fuller catcher. Trying to see if there was another change out there. I saw a Viking coming off the field. I don't know what.
Yeah, I didn't notice it was there.
And the first pitch is fouled away back over the visitor stand. So 4 balls and 1 strike.
Fuller didn't look right from the get-go, and it did affect several plays, Bill.
Yes.
He just couldn't react and move in time to really block the ball, and in some cases, make plays at the plate.
Not sure what that pitch was. I was trying to see if there was a change out in the field. High fly ball. It's going to go foul out of play, I believe. Yep, into the visitor's bullpen. See if the umpire gives us an updated count here. Swung on, strikes out. 8 runs scored in the top of the first inning. So Darnell Garrison's going to lead off for the Vikings in the top of the first inning, usually the leadoff batter for the JV team. He looks at the first pitch in the dirt for ball one.
See if the Vikings can answer back here after that big 8-run first inning by the Mansfield Tigers.
That pitch also misses for ball two. And then the catcher missed the throw back to the pitcher. It rolls out past second base. Second baseman goes and gets it. He almost overthrew the pitcher himself.
Adventure getting it back to the pitcher tonight.
It sure is. A lot of things have been an adventure tonight so far.
It's been an adventure evening tonight.
It has.
It has.
Here comes a 2-0 pitch, and that's back in there for ball three.
I refuse to be intimidated. It's a matter of principle.
So Hunter Simmons doesn't even come close, and the first batter for the Vikings walks.
Yeah, leadoff walk for Darnell Garrison.
Catcher for the Tigers already out to talk to the pitcher Hunter Simmons after that. Hey, none of those pitches were close, Bill.
The next batter for the Vikings, number 8, Cade Hoogerworth. So Cade Hoogerworth, who was not originally part of the starting lineup, comes into bat in the second position, which would have been Colt Fuller, but he had to leave the game with the not 100% left leg. That first pitch catches the bottom of the strike zone. A little bit of a delayed call by the umpire, but in there for strike one. No balls and one strike. Garrison, the runner at first. About a 2.5-step lead. And he goes. Shows bunt. Does Hoogerworth. Called strike two. And Garrison safe at second.
Good jump by Garrison. There was no throw by the catcher.
Yeah, definitely so. So now with no outs, a runner in scoring position for Hoogerworth. Count no balls and two strikes. Bouncing ground ball that goes off past third base. Coach Kelly kind of makes a kicking motion at it.
Looked like one of the Rockettes on that play, Bill.
He had a pretty high kick.
Got a high right kick. Yeah.
Then he has to chase that ball out there. Tosses it back over
Nice show.
on deck.
Nice show of flexibility by Coach Kelly there.
Yeah, count stays at no balls and two strikes. Another 0-2 pitch. And he gets rung up. That had a nasty movement on it.
Yeah, that ball.
People were fooled by it a little bit there. Wasn't sure where it was going to go.
Really tough breaking ball.
Number 19, third baseman Andrew Gladback.
Big breaking ball by Simmons there, as you mentioned, Bill, on that last strike.
Simmons steps off the mound, looks back over at second. The second baseman came in trying to hold Garrison tight. No throw, but Garrison retreats back to second base wisely. He's got about a 3-step, pretty healthy lead, maybe 3.5-step lead at second base. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled straight back to the netting in front of us, and no balls and one strike.
One of those that looks like it's coming right in our lap.
Oh, yeah, I saw you flinch. I didn't on that one, but I will say, as you know, Al, I have flinched on many a pitch.
I was going to get in front of that one. I don't know about you.
There's a little dinker ground ball up to the pitcher, Simmons, and finally the first baseman gets back in time. Now it's going to be a play at the plate, and they end up with a double play as they try to send Garrison. No run scored in the bottom of the first inning. It remains 8-0. We'll be back in just a few moments. Leading off for the Tigers in the top of the second inning, number 12, Luke Lensing. Is that right? Number 20. Correction, the batter is number 20, Gavin Brzezowski. Well, the first pitch, a little bit of chin music to Brzezowski. He's the designated hitter. Want to say hello to Sushant Sharma, all the way from Palampur, India, but of course he's in Arlington tonight. Sushant, hello. Glad you're tuned in and listening. Anyone else that happens to be tuned in and listening wants to say hello, give us a text message at 817-719-6522. 817-719-6522. We'll give you a shout out. Count out 2 balls and 1 strike. That last pitch.
But if Sushan were in India, he could be listening via Lamar Nation.
Definitely so. Anywhere around the world. That pitch caught the strike zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. See if Mason can stay ahead of this batter. Little dinker that's going to be hit back to Cade. He picks it up and throws over to first base. So it'll be Jackson Walker for out number 1. So a clean start so far on the 1-3 play against number 20. Now the batter's number 12, Luke Lensing.
So I believe our last varsity game, Bill, we had the mayor of Richmond, Indiana.
That's true. Mr. Snow, Mayor Snow was
Mayor Snow.
Yep. They might have had some snow recently. They had another winter storm that went through the northern part of the U.S.
Still got snow going on.
Well, the first pitch to Lensing in there for strike 1. So Mason now the throwback just not exactly to Cade. Rolls to the second baseman, picks it up, throws it back. But no balls and 1 strike, so Mason ahead of this batter now.
Don't they know this is baseball season and we can't have snow?
Yep, and that pitch hits the batter, and there'll be a base runner. The next batter, number 8, J.P. Delott. Well, Delott's going to come up to the plate, number 8, and he's 6th in the order. He reached on an error back in the first and scored one of the runs. Now, they're going to check on the batter, Lensing. He got hit by that pitch.
I think he caught him in the ribs or the midsection.
Yeah, it's kind of what he did what you're supposed to, kind of turned away from it. Coach Adams for the Tigers kind of comes off third base area a little bit, checks on. Looks like everything's okay. So now waiting for the first pitch to number 8, J.P. Delott. With 1 out and 1 on top of the second inning, the Tigers lead 8-0. That's fouled back to the wall. And Mason starts off again ahead of this batter, no balls and 1 strike.
Pitch outside, count goes to 1-1. Mason looking to run her back. Pitches ball low. Count goes to 2-1.
So now Mason again started out ahead of this batter, but now behind 2-1. Time called by the field umpire, I believe. And here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, foul back to the wall. And the count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So, Bill, where are you at in Texas? Since you're the everywhere man?
This week I spent, what was it, Tuesday night? I believe Monday night I spent in Temple, working in Temple and Belton. And Wednesday night I spent in Texarkana. Mason throws back over to first. The runner, Linsing, back in time. Yeah, so I've crisscrossed a little bit of Texas this week. Coming up, I'll be in College Station and then Beaumont.
You are everywhere.
Just like that song, I've been everywhere, man. There's a strike 3 rung up by the umpire. 4th strikeout of the game for Cade Mason. The next batter is number 3, Braden Monroe.
Much better inning here for the Vikings.
Definitely so. 2 outs and only 1 on at first still. That pitch in the corner for strike 1. It's funny, this umpire sometimes a little bit kind of, I won't say late, but deliberate on the call.
Deliberate.
And
It's charitable.
Okay. And I thought, well,
I'd say late.
I thought maybe he missed. That was a ball, but there's a swing and a miss. The runner goes. But now the count is no balls and 2 strikes. And now with the runner on second.
Got away from the catcher Sunbury there, and the runner did advance to second. But an 0-2 count.
And it was kind of wild that he swung on it, and I think that sort of distracted Sudbury just a little bit. There goes the runner to third. Swing and a miss for strike 3. It's dropped, but it's picked up. I don't.
No,
Wow.
it wasn't dropped. He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess they threw it over to first base just to make sure.
Right.
No runs, no hits, 1 left on base in the top of the second. Score remains 8-0. And we'll be back for the bottom of the second.
Leading off for the Vikings in the bottom of the second, number 11, Ben Sudbury.
Well, the first pitch to Sudbury missed for ball 1. Then he swings and misses for strike 1. So now 1 ball and 1 strike to number 11, Ben Sudbury, hitting 4th in the lineup. That foul ball going off over to the soccer field. Now it's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Much better inning for the Vikings there in the top of the second. Let's see if they can get some runs on the board here, Bill. Bottom of the 2.
Definitely so. Unfortunately, the Tigers got out to an 8-0 lead in the top of the first. That pitch off of his helmet.
Ooh. That didn't look good. That ball bounced off his helmet way up in the air.
Number 9, Jackson Walker.
Pitcher threw over to first, but the umpire had called time. So like the first inning, Bill, the Vikings get the leadoff runner on board.
Definitely so. Last time with a walk, this time with a hit batsman. See if we can jinx the pitcher Simmons. He has a no-hitter going on.
Yeah, he does.
Through 1 1/3 or one inning.
It didn't work the last game. We
No,
tried
it
that.
didn't. Took a long time for that perfect game to get broken up or whatever. 1 ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss by Walker. Now it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
In fact, I was telling you the pitcher for Arlington High in that game there was an article in the Star-Telegram on that game. Really good pickoff move by Simmons. Threw over to first. That was close.
Yeah, and Sudbury dove back, and now he's having to tie his shoe, I think.
Mhm.
Yep, time was called by the field umpire to let him do that. Everything back in order now. Walker steps back into the batter's box. Home plate umpire gives the go sign. The 1-1 pitch is on its way. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Ball gets just behind the catcher a little bit, but not enough for Sudbury to advance from first to second, so he'll still be at first. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch foul back. Stays at 1 and 2.
I think I mentioned to you, Bill, that article in the Star-Telegram was about the Arlington High. They go too deep in pitching, which is, if you can go too deep in district play, that's really good.
Yes, it is. Bouncing foul ball over toward Cade Mason, the on-deck batter. He bobbles it barehanded. Count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sudbury only taking a small lead at first. They're holding pretty tight. Pitcher's looking over his shoulder. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3.
Pitcher Simmons has a good move, so Sudbury.
Number 21, Cade Mason. And so now, like with that, there's 1 out and 1 runner on. Cade Mason, the pitcher tonight for the Vikings, stepping up to the plate, see if he can help himself out a little bit offensively here. First pitch, nice curve on that. Catches the outside edge of the strike zone, no balls and 1 strike.
And Bill, within the last week, Preston Gomez, who was on the JV, got called up to varsity.
Yes, he did. There's a swing and a miss, and now no balls and 2 strikes to Cade Mason.
Preston was a big part of the run production for the JV.
Yes, indeed.
But glad to see him up there in varsity and already off to a good start there.
And he tried to check his swing but didn't, and that'll be strike 3 for Cade Mason. Number 13, Juan Rosa.
So did Juan change his walk-up music?
Juan changed his walk-up music this week to the WWE The Rock theme song. I think it's something like, if you smell something.
Smell what the Rock is cooking.
Yeah, that's it.
I liked his other walk-up song.
I did too. It had a good Latin thing to it.
He needs to go back to his last walk-up song.
I'll be sure and get that word to him. First pitch in there for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to Rosa. That pitch looks to be high for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Still a runner on first. But 2 outs now in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
He had my favorite walk-up song. I'm disappointed.
Simmons steps off the rubber, looks over at first. Sudbury retreats back, not taking a very big lead. And the pitch, swung on and miss for strike 2. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Juan Rosa. Playing shortstop for the Vikings.
Simmons has got good velocity on his fastball too, Bill. sharp breaking curve and
Ground ball to the shortstop, picks it up, gets the lead runner out, and that'll retire the side. We'll be back for the top of the third. Leading off in the top of the third inning for the Tigers, number 11, Max Garrett. Well, Max Garrett's going to come and lead off in the top of the third for the Tigers. He got a single back in the first inning and scored one of those 8 runs. This will be his second plate appearance for the night. And the first pitch, wow, caught the outside edge for strike one. That was an interesting pitch. It kind of looked like it was going outside, but somehow caught the edge of the strike zone. So Mason now ahead of this batter, 0-1. And the umpire says he didn't check his swing, went around, so now it's no balls and 2 strikes. Sudbury goes out to talk to Mason for just a moment, maybe just to double check signs or something.
Mason's come back after that first inning. Strong here. Hopefully he can continue.
Has 5 strikeouts tonight. That pitch outside for ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Got a chance to settle down a little bit in that second inning.
There's a line drive that's going to go between first and second out to right field. That'll be a base hit. So a leadoff single for Garrett. Number 2, Austin Dent. So Austin Dent comes up for his second at-bat of the night. He struck out looking back in the first inning. That was the second out and second strikeout of the game. That first pitch misses for ball 1.
Just missed there on the outside corner.
Swing and a miss for strike 1, so the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
See a little hesitation in Mason's delivery there, Bill?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, look at
it's hard to explain.
Little Louis Tiant move there.
Mason looking at the runner at first, his head swiveling back and forth. Now time called by the umpire. Mason threw over to first, but that'll be a no throw, safe anyway. I think the batter was just getting tired of holding that stance because Mason had a really synchronous head swivel going back and forth. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Mason has the advantage of being left-handed and be able to look that runner down.
Yes.
Made the quick snap throw over to first.
So now 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was a swing and a miss for strike 3.
Another strikeout.
Number 15, Reed Thomas. Well, Reed Thomas, the leadoff batter, now his 3rd at bat of the night already, and we're in the 3rd inning. He came up to the plate twice in the first, got a single both times, scored twice, and the first pitch is strike 1, so no balls and 1 strike.
Bill, Mason now has a lot of swinging misses for strikes, which is always a good sign.
Yes, because the the batters are having a hard time completely reading that pitch as it comes to him.
Yeah.
Good point.
The major leagues now, they make it a big statistic is the number of swinging misses.
Okay.
That the pitcher throws.
All right.
Yeah.
That pitch misses for ball 2. Goes just to the side of Sudbury, but he's able to pick it up and return it in plenty of time. No attempt by the runner at first to go anywhere on that. And the 2-1 pitch misses, and now it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
With the metrics now in baseball, they've got all kinds of different analytics that I've never heard of.
Sure enough, that pitch just upstairs for ball 4. Number 7, Ahmad Lambert. So Ahmad Lambert comes up for his 3rd time. He also made it to the plate twice in the first inning, got a triple and a walk, scored 1 run, and then was stranded his 2nd time. A pitch outside for ball 1. There's 1 out and 2 on. We're in the top of the 3rd. The Mansfield Tigers lead the Vikings 8-0. All 8 of those runs coming in that first inning. That pitch in there for strike 1, so now 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. And the 1-1 pitch outside for ball 2. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Wow, I just saw Colt Fuller's parents leaving the stands. Maybe they're going to go pick him up and get him checked out. Sudbury tries to frame that pitch, but it misses just outside for ball 3. So now 3-1 the count with 1 out and 2 on. It runners at first and second.
Hope Colt's all right.
He was 2. Oh, and there. So Lambert thought that was ball 4. Started to run off to first base. I don't know if the umpire had a thought maybe it was going to be, but, he's not the fastest call in the world, but definitely brought him back with the 3-2.
Runner at second for the Tigers had gone so far to third, he almost got caught in a rundown. Mason almost threw it to second, but Juan Rosa just couldn't get there to cover in time, but he was way off second base.
Sudbury, go ahead.
3-2 count now.
Sudbury went out to talk to Mason for just a moment. Full count. Payoff pitch on its way.
Yep.
And that's going to be ball 4. So another walk issued now. And the bases are loaded with only 1 out. Number 9, Hunter Simmons.
Still don't see any action out in the Viking bullpen.
Courtesy runner at first base, number 3, Braden Monroe. Is that number 3? No, it can't be. It is. Interesting. So base hit out to left field. A run scores. It'll be number 11. Scoring is number 11, Max Garrett. So that was that an out, I think?
That was an out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
So 2 outs now on the F7.
ball was caught by the left fielder Garrison.
2 outs.
Thanks.
So the Tigers making some changes in their lineup. I'm not sure what all has been changed, but they had number 3, Braden Monroe, who was batting 7th, going as a courtesy runner, which he must be changing positions in the field next time, I guess. I didn't know you could come in as a courtesy runner if you're in the lineup as a hitter. But I don't know all the rules that well.
Gage Harmon is now coming to bat.
The next batter, number 10, Gage Harmon. Now, Harmon is the starting third baseman. He was being DH'd for, but now he's in the lineup. I think we're at the number 4 spot here in their overall order. First pitch missed for ball 1. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Now the score 9-0 after that run scored just a moment ago. Tagged up on the sacrifice fly. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs and 2 on. Top of the 3rd inning. Mason looks at the runners and now delivers. Check swing, but it's called strike 2.
Good pitch by Mason.
That was a good pitch. We've just got to get our teams away from having these bad innings where a bunch of runs score in 1 inning and it gets away from us, which otherwise would be some close games. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3 to retire the side. One run on 1 hit, 2 left on base. It's now 9-0. Leading off for the Vikings in the bottom of the 3rd inning, number 7, Jared De La Parra. Well, Jared De La Parra making his first plate appearance for the Vikings tonight here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Vikings trail 9-0. And we have been joined in the press box by the manager for the JV team, Katie Martin.
Hey, Katie. How you doing?
Provides a lot of great support to Coach Kelly and the team. Doing pitch count tonight, among other duties, I'm sure. First pitch missed for ball one. Second pitch swung on and goes out of play for strike one. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. That pitch will miss for ball 2. Now 2 balls and 1 strike to De La Parra. Number 8 in the order tonight for the Vikings. Playing second base. Left-hander, so gets that little advanced step toward first from the plate. Pitch is going to miss outside for ball 3. Now 3 balls and 1 strike.
See if the Vikings can get that leadoff runner aboard again.
I mean, nice to do that for the 3rd inning in a row, but then to bring them around and score. He's going to foul that one away, and the count goes full.
Yeah, we need some base runners, and then we need to score them.
That's right.
Pretty simple. That's the way the game works, right?
That's the typical way to score a run. You get them on base.
You get them on base, and then you bring them home.
Color commentary like no one else can do. Wait, did we have the wrong count?
I guess we did.
Wow, okay. Well, now it's 3-2. Okay.
Okay.
Feel free to correct us, Katie.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I was 6 pitches.
He tried to check,
And he didn't.
and he didn't, so that's going to be a strikeout for out number 1. Number 24, Nathan Howe. Well, Al, this is Nathan Howe, brought up from the freshman team for this week as a couple of JV players moved up to the varsity level. So his first plate appearance of the night, swings and misses for strike 1.
Good opportunity for Howell.
Definitely so.
Freshman playing JV.
One out, nobody on, bottom of the 3rd inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Sure, Howell's a little nervous.
I know I would be.
I know I would be too.
Heck, I was nervous every time I went up to bat in Little League. I was just praying to get hit by a pitch. I wasn't a good hitter. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Well, I'm feeling a few raindrops coming in now, I think. Number 17, Purnell Garrison. Hope that's not rain, and if it is, I hope it doesn't last very long. Try to get this game finished up, and then a freshman game in, hopefully. Now 2 outs and nobody on for the leadoff batter, Garrison. Pitch is going to be in the low part of the ball zone, if you will. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, Bill, I didn't want to get hit by a pitch, but I definitely was looking for the walk up there.
I think I led the league in being hit by a pitch. I just knew how to lean in enough. There's a bouncing ball straight back to the pitcher, Lambert. He picks it up and tosses over to first base. Excuse me, Simmons, the pitcher, throws to Lambert at first base, and that will retire the side 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back for the top of the 4th. Leading off for the Tigers in the top of the fourth inning, number 18, Cade Bennett. So leading off for the Tigers is going to be Cade Bennett and being inserted into the lineup. Line drive just out of reach of the third baseman, Andrew Gladback. He gets up, goes and picks it up. A nice infield nice leadoff single for Bennett.
Gladback upset he didn't catch that, but a really good play. That thing was dipping down on the third base line.
Yeah, just out of his reach.
Just out of his reach. Got a glove on it, but
Number
couldn't.
4, is that? Number 4, Matt Cook. So the Tigers are putting some subs in now with a 9-1 lead, giving some other guys a chance to come up to the plate. First pitch, strike one. No balls and one strike. So De La Pata getting that all-important first pitch strike. There's a bouncing ball to Gladback. He's able to pick that one up. Throws a second, tries to get the lead runner over the head of the second baseman into right field. So that'll be an E5 that'll put him on base. He had the right idea to get that lead runner. He had time, but unfortunately, just sailed away from him a little bit.
Just didn't make an accurate throw. Made a really good play. Hard hit ball. Had plenty of time. Just need to set his feet.
Is that a 13? Yeah.
Set his feet and really
The batter is number 13, Ryan Pleiter.
Focus on getting that lead runner.
So now nobody out, 2 on, runners at the corners. That first pitch is going to miss for ball 1. And between the 9-0 lead here in the fourth inning and the fact that this game is probably going to be not a complete full game in terms of innings, Tigers getting some other players in here to give them a chance to get some at-bats. That pitch catches the edge of the strike zone, so now it goes to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Off-speed pitch by De La Parra.
That one fouled straight back to the net, kind of heading towards our window. Now it's interesting a little bit to me at least that the runner at first has not tried to get second base when you got to figure that's an easy steal because you've got a runner at third and they're probably not going to throw to second because that would allow the runner to score most likely.
9-0 game,
That
may be the reason.
Maybe it could be. That pitch comes across out of the strike zone.
3-2.
That was a swing and a miss for strike 3. Number 14, Dylan Nanny. A line drive that's going to go just foul off the first base line out in past right field. Runners were breaking on that, but they're going to have to go back to first and third. Now the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch just misses across.
You're right, Bill. I can feel a few raindrops coming in here.
Yeah, and every so often it looks like I see a wave of kind of rain or something, but nothing's just driving into us. Of course, the wind mainly blowing away from us, so. But yeah.
Good thing.
Another 1-2 pitch. Yeah, definitely. And nope, he's going to step off the mound. All right, De La Parra gets back up on the mound.
We got some brave souls out in the stands tonight.
That pitch is going to sail high and even up the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. I haven't even looked at the crowd over for us.
They're bundled up.
It looks like Mansfield has a bigger crowd than we do. And yeah, everyone is bundled up. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So now 2 strikeouts for Jared De La Parra. The batter's number 1, Evan Hamilton.
Let's see if De La Parra can get out of this first and third, nobody out. Now he's got 2 outs. See if he can get out of this inning with no damage.
That would be quite a feat. First pitch misses for ball 1. Yeah, anytime you have 2 on with no outs, and then you can strike out the next 2 batters, definitely shows some composure. Well, that looked almost like a softball lob.
Slow-moving breaking ball in for a strike.
That thing, it looked like it was sailing high and just drops in right in time, I believe.
The Ephus pitch.
He was up to count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Looks like he might have tried the same thing there, but it stayed high, so now 2 balls and 1 strike.
You know, Yu Darvish had a pitch like that. I think he tried it a few times, and then it got hammered for a home run, and that was the end of it.
That was the end of that nonsense, huh?
Yeah.
Well, the 2-1 pitch is on its way. That's going to be high for ball 3. A throw down to second, 1 hops, not in time, and a runner scores.
So just exactly the play you had mentioned earlier,
Scoring
boy.
is number 18, Cade Bennett. Yes, exactly, yeah.
Runners at first and third. The throw went down to second, and the runner scored from third.
Like the devil went down to Georgia. The runner went down to second. The throw down went down to second. Well, that looked to be maybe coming in low. The batter was thinking it was going to be ball 4, but it turns out to be 3 balls and 2 strikes now, the full count. Ground ball hit sharply to the shortstop. Picks it up, throws across, and no, he's pulled off the bag, and now the run scores.
Oh.
While he's saying I had the ball, they weren't watching the runner coming in from third,
Yeah.
and another run scores.
Mistake there by the Vikings. They
Scoring
did.
is number 4, Matt Cook. The next batter, number 15, Reed Thomas. Yeah, I kind of got caught up, Walker did, saying, hey, I've got the ball in my glove, but I feel an umpire saying, no, well, you got pulled off the bag by the throw. The throw's pretty good. I thought he was going to make the stretch and get him out, but it didn't happen. And then meanwhile...
Got to keep your eye on that lead runner.
Yep. That pitch goes behind the batter, and the runner goes to second base. So much for thinking they're not going to move because the score was 9-0. They're moving runners around.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting though they waited.
So now 11-0 in favor of the Tigers. Reed Thomas, the leadoff batter for the Tigers overall, his 4th appearance at the plate tonight. That pitch misses. Sudbury throws back to second. The runner had a pretty good break towards third. Not real fast, retreating back to second. Sudbury threw back there, but no one was there holding him tight. I like the way Sudbury's thinking there. Keep that guy watching. That pitch is going to miss for ball 3. So now De La Parra struggling a little bit here. Behind 3-0 on Reed Thomas. Swing, and that's going to be just there. That's going to roll almost to the fence. That's going to be an RBI double for Thomas.
Solid hit by Thomas there. That hit
Scoring is number 1, Evan Hamilton.
3-0 pitch, he hammered it, Bill. Down the line.
Number 21, Aiden Vorpal. Now there was some whoops after I announced the batter. I don't know if it's because I pronounced the name correctly or they're just excited to see this guy get into the lineup.
I think Aiden's got a fan club out there.
Well, a lot of these players now coming in that maybe don't get to play a lot, so they're getting some love from their fans. High fly ball.
excited fans out there on the Mansfield side.
Yeah, ball bounced once in the stands and picked up by one of the ladies up on the top row. And that pitch in there for a strike, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Aiden Vorpal.
Say that 3 times.
That 3 times. And we're going to miss for strike 3 to end the
Off-speed
inning.
pitch got him.
3 runs scored in the top of the 4th inning. It's 12-0. And that brings us to the 4th inning stretch. Well, Al, a new pitcher in for the Tigers, number 21, Aiden Vorpal.
And we did confirm he does have a fan club out there.
Yes, he does. First pitch swung on by Hoogerwerf. Ground ball over to the third baseman. Throws across. 1 pitch, 1 out. Number 19, Andrew Gladback. Gladback comes up to the plate for his 2nd time tonight. That pitch kind of just across the top of his back. He ducked down to avoid being hit by the pitch.
Yeah, I was behind him.
He hit into what turned out to be a double play back in the 1st inning. And now the count evened up at 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out and nobody on. Bottom of the 4th inning. Vikings trail the Tigers 12-0.
Ooh.
And that one hits him.
Hit him.
This is number 3. Oh, and I don't have a song for him. The next batter for the Vikings, number 3, Mac Luttrell. So Mac Luttrell comes up to the plate for his first time tonight. He started the game out in right field, and then when they made some changes, when Colt Fuller left the game, Hoogerwerf went out to right field.
All that are really a ripple effect from Colt Fuller leaving the game.
Correct. And a swing and a miss by Luttrell. Evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Katie, what happened to Colt? Do you?
I think he hurt himself in football, and then it just Coach Kelly decided to play him, and that was probably not the best decision for Colt.
So aggravation of an earlier football injury type thing maybe?
In his calf area.
Mm-hmm.
Calf.
And when he dove for that ball, he told Coach Kelly to take him out.
So that pitch misses, and now it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Luttrell. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Count evens up. So glide back, the runner at first. About a 2.5 step lead. Here's a pitch, swung on a miss for strike 3, and down goes Luttrell. Number 9, Jackson Walker. We have to get him to walk up a little bit more slowly so we can hear more of his song.
Yeah. I'm interested.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Picking Wildflower is the name of the song.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's the name of it. First pitch misses, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes to Walker, playing first base tonight for the Vikings.
It's interesting. You get all kinds of genres of music for the walk-up songs.
Definitely. So there's a sharply hit ground ball to the third baseman. Bobbles it a little bit, picks it up, but still recovers to make an incredible play for out number 3. Still no scores and still actually no hits for the Vikings. Still 12-0. We'll be back for the top of the 5th. Well, welcome to the top of the 5th inning.
We're just
The
reminiscing.
batter's number 9, Hunter Simmons.
We're just reminiscing about songs in Urban Cowboy, the movie Urban Cowboy.
Now, what were you doing in 1980?
I was in college, Bill.
Really?
I was dancing to Urban Cowboy.
I didn't know you were that much older than me. I mean, I'm not trying to say anything, but...
I'm just well preserved.
Okay. I was a sophomore in high school.
I was dancing to Urban Cowboy.
Were you really?
I was.
Where were you living?
In Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they played that movie up there?
They played Urban Cowboy music
Wow.
everywhere. We haven't even had mechanical bulls.
Tell me something. Really?
Yeah.
Believe it. I was living out in Odessa. We rode live bulls to it.
Oh yeah.
I'm not trying to one up you or anything, but
well, tell you what, we only had cows and corn. That's it.
Count as 1 ball and no strikes for those that care about the game that's going on. Now it's 2 balls and no. Did you ever do any cow tipping?
Never did any cow tipping. I can't say I did any cow
I did
tipping.
it one time, and I left 15%. I know you're really supposed to tip them 20%. That's hit by a pitch there. So the leadoff runner is on.
No, I can't say I ever did any cow tipping.
Number 10, Gage Harmon.
Did you ever do any cornfield driving in Odessa?
No, we didn't have any cornfields. We didn't have cotton fields. You had to go over to Midland County or Andrews County to get cotton fields. I don't know what we just cruised the drag up and down 42nd Street and Andrews Highway. Sudbury goes out to talk to De La Potter out at the mound. Katie, what do the hip kids do for fun these days in Arlington on Friday nights if you're not at a baseball game?
Ooh, they play Midnight Run. It's like hide and seek with cars.
Hide and seek with
Midnight
cars.
Run, hide and seek
Run.
with cars.
That sounds fun.
You have to ask my son about that drives. Might answer a few questions I've had. That's a foul ball. Did that go off the umpire?
No.
It hit somebody somewhere because that bounced up high.
I think it just hit him close to his hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if I heard a thud of a body part, but
It sounded like
okay. Count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Midnight hide and seek.
Midnight Run.
A midnight
Midnight
run,
Run.
Tag and hide and go seek tag.
but with cars.
Yes, and well, I mean, obviously you're not tagging people with a car.
Well, that's good to know. Katie says we're not tagging people with it's a tag kind of game, but you're not tagging people. We have to put a headset on her in a minute. All right, count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We got away from Sunbury and the runner moved up to second.
No one holding the runner second very closely. Ground ball hit to the shortstop, picks it up. Juan Rosa throws over just in time.
Good play by Rosa.
Well, that was a really good 6-3 and a good stretch at first base by Walker.
That's more like it. I've seen Rosa make some really good plays in prior JV games, so I was looking for him to
Number 18, Cade Bennett.
make that throw.
Yep. That pitch gets away from Jared, and it's going to go outside for ball 1. And there's ball 2. That pitch gets in there for strike 1. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Just got a note from our producer Jay Ryan. Things are looking and sounding good. Want to give another shout out to Jay, who was not at the undisclosed bunker most of the night. He was actually over
He's
in
not?
Dallas. So I don't know if he's back at the bunker or not.
What's he
Production
doing?
headquarters.
What's he doing out of the bunker?
Something about a family dinner. I'm not
What's
sure
that- what's
going
that
on.
all
2
about?
balls and 2 strikes on that foul ball, by the way.
Well, good for Jay.
And
Struck him
that
out.
pitch in there rings him up for strike 3. Yep, De La Parra.
De La Parra with an excellent off-speed breaking ball. Couldn't get it out there. De La Parra.
Number 4, Matt Cook. So Matt Cook comes up to the plate. He reached on an error in the 4th inning and then scored a run. There's a nice shot out to left field. That'll be picked up by Pernell Garrison, thrown in quickly. Man, he had a cannon on that one. That'll hold him to a single. But number 9 scores. Scoring is number 9, Hunter Simmons.
Unofficial count now. 10
Next batter,
hits.
number 13, Ryan Pleiter.
Unofficially, I've got 10 hits for the Tigers tonight.
I'll tally up and see what I've got. There's another one almost to the exact same spot. Garrison, he boots that one into foul territory. But he throws it in pretty quickly. That'll be a double. The next batter, number 14, Dylan Nani. So now it's 13-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. That pitch misses. Sudbury makes a good stop there to keep that one from getting behind him and anyone else scoring. 2 outs, runners at second and third. There's a line drive out to center field. Bounces in front of Nathan Howe. It's going to get behind him. 2 runs are going to score.
Nathan having a tough night out there for his first night on JV, Bill. I just couldn't make a decision
Scoring
there.
are number 4, Cook, and number 13, Pleiter. The next batter is number 1, Evan Hamilton.
Just couldn't make a decision there whether to charge that ball and dive for it or...
And then once it bounced in front, it got away from him.
Yeah.
And that pitch gets away from Sudbury. No one's telling him where it's at. Finally, De La Part says it's back over at the wall. The runner advances to third. So the rough night defensively continues for the Vikings.
De La Parra, though, covering home, preventing a run, which the Vikings didn't do earlier in the game. It cost them one.
Good point.
There's a strike on the inside corner. The count goes to 1-1.
Bouncing ball high over the pitcher, picked up by the second baseman, makes a throw in time for out number 3. But 3-run score. It's 15-0. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Hayden Wolf, inside for ball 1. Hayden Wolf being inserted into the lineup now. His first plate appearance tonight, I believe. And a new pitcher for the Tigers, Ryan Pleiter. Ground ball sharply hit foul over to the visiting dugout. The count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch. Well, the umpire kind of hesitated and then went ahead and called that a strike. That was in about the lowest outside corner of the strike zone I think you can get. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a little bouncing ball that
Foul.
it's foul. Now it's interesting. Wolf may have known it hit the plate or something, but the umpire didn't call it right away. But Wolf stayed put, didn't try to make a run toward first. Count still 1 and 2. And the pitch, a bouncing ball to the shortstop, picks it up, throws across to the first baseman in plenty of time for out number 1. Number 13, Juan Rosa. Al, you're not as impressed with Juan's current walk-up song you said the last time he came up to the plate.
Katie, I want to tell Juan to go back to his old walk-up song. All right.
First pitch misses for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes.
My wife was asking if you need a coat, Bill.
No, I'm plenty good. Tell her thanks, though. Wow, I would almost call that a broken bat, but the bat got away from him. And that was interesting. The ball went up, looked like it was going to be caught, dropped by the shortstop, and he picks up and runs 2/3 of the way to first base, and so that's going to go down as a 6-3.
Yeah, Rosa didn't run it out, so he got caught there.
Yeah, I don't know if he thought it was a foul ball or what.
Yeah, I think he thought it was a foul ball.
Number 7, Jared De La Parra. Well, that was bizarre. The bat went flying back over toward the on-deck circle. First pitch to Jared. He fouls it off over to the on-deck circle.
Yeah, I think Rosa was confused because the bat went flying, the ball.
Yeah. He's probably just kind of shell-shocked what's going on. But, and then the shortstop didn't catch it, which I think he was able to. But so he was probably shell-shocked a little bit. Swing and a miss, and the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes to De La Parra. 2 outs and nobody on. There's a bouncing ball to the well. It's going to go foul off the third base line. Wow, that was a wicked pitch. That goes foul over toward the dugout. Count stays at 0-2. Did you see all that movement on that? It was an interesting pitch.
It was.
And you got a piece of it to protect the plate with that 0-2 count.
I don't know what kind of ball that was. What kind of
I think
pitch
that
that
was
was.
a screwball back in the 70s or something. That pitch misses, now the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, now the flag flying straight out, northeast to southwest. There's a bouncing ball to the pitcher, picks it up, almost goes to first himself, makes the throw, and retires the side 3 up, 3 down. And that's going to be the end of the ball game. So we will close out this broadcast. The final score, Mansfield 15, Lamar 0. We'll be back on in just a little bit for the freshman game. I'm Bill Frawley.
I'm Al Qualman.
VFND.